We are live right now, Earl.
SpongeBob SquarePants.
Hey, hey, I told how do we say? We listen. We told them we've been on pretty much the whole day, and we talk about this all the time. We talk about the situation where it's playoff baseball, it's the playoffs, everything can happen, and it just seemed like every time the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show do a post game show, it got to be some wild stuff happening. We have a situation happen today. Extra innings, 15 innings. The Guardians do it in classic style. Oscar Gonzalez hits a bomb off Corey Kluber, of all people. Of all people, former Cy Young Award winner for the Cleveland Indians, now Guardians, Corey Kluber. They win 1-0 in the bottom of the 15. They move on to the ALDS versus the Yankees. Talk to me about this game and how nerve-wracking it was for you and how excited this is for the city and everybody involved with the Guardians.
Man, first and foremost, man, we sent the post-game tweet out at 3:07 p.m. It is now 5:14 p.m., G, and every single hour was worth it, man. Listen, Oscar Gonzalez, man, for him to be that young and that inexperienced in this situation to hit the first ever series clinching walk-off home run in franchise history off of Corey Kluber of all people. Wow. Not only that, bro, the inning before that, he seen Corey Kluber. He made the adjustment, set on the off-speed pitch, man, was not fooled by it. He knew it was gone, man. Shout out to Tristan McKenzie. What did he go, man? 6 innings, 8 Ks, 98 pitches, 65 for strikes, 66%, G. 66% of his pitches, man, went for strikes, man. So, like, this game was just, like, unbelievable. You know, Glass now on the other side, he go 5 innings, two hits, 5 Ks. He throws 63 pitches, 68 of his pitches went for strikes. The pitching dominated this entire game on both sides, man.
Hey, listen, first of all, 160 people in here right now watching. So many more probably come in. 160, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. If you are not under a rock, Oscar Gonzalez hits a bomb off Corey Kluber, and now the Guardians is off to the ALDS. When you talked a little bit about Tristan McKenzie and Glasnow pitch, they pitched gems today. I think that you saw what playoff baseball is about. Guys coming in, and you saw what Tito was doing. Everything was a mismatch. Everything was a matchup. Every pitcher that came in, we'll kind of talk about. We'll talk about the later innings here in a second. We'll get to that. We'll recap everything for you guys over here. Tristan McKenzie, 6-inning pitch, 2 hits, 8 Ks. And that's so important because when you're playing in the closeout game, you need to keep these guys off the board. And they, Glasnow and as well as McKenzie wouldn't pitch for pitch. But you think about it. Tristan McKenzie, his first opportunity to play in this, he had the big homie CC Sabathia, who was always shout out to CC. He was on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, so he was in the building. I thought he pitched with some moxie. I thought his pitches, and this is the thing we'll talk about today. I don't know if this is new norm. Everybody and their mom got pitchers now. When you talk about these guys and the way they throw the ball, every pitch is moving. Every pitch is moving, and they throwing. Everybody's at 98. Everybody throwing 98. Everybody got a curve, a cutter, a slider. So you got to see all of that on display today.
Yeah, man. Outside of Fairbanks, man, which I don't know what that whole situation was about. We'll get to that. But outside of Fairbanks, man, Tampa Bay showed they got a strong bullpen. They kept them in it. They got some Cleveland Guardians disciples down there in Tampa. So it doesn't surprise me that they got that strong rotation that they have. The Guardians showing how the bullpen was, pretty damn dominant over the second half of the season. Tristan McKenzie, he showed up, G. And this is the same thing as yesterday. The big-time players on this team showing up in big moments. And this game, man, was full of defense and full of dominant pitching, man. And shout out to Jose Ramirez, man. Really didn't do nothing with the bat. Went 0 for 6, but made like 3 great game-saving defensive plays, man. And it just shows, with this team, they always find a way to win. And they did what they, have done all year long, which is play sound defense, timely base running. They got a steal today. I think Straw got a steal. Throughout the season, man, the Guardians was I think they was third in entire major leagues in steals with an 81.5 success rate, which was also third. So, they showed up and they did their thing. They did their thing, man.
I thought this was when you creating graphics for the show, right? You're thinking about different things that you're gonna have to say, and I thought the bottom of the sixth was the big inning for the Guardians. They had an opportunity, the bases loaded, no outs, and they get Ramirez on a strikeout. Your best hitter is up. Jose Ramirez had just put the dagger in him, 2 for 4, had a 2-run home run the previous day. He's up. They got the strikeout on him, and then Naylor hits into the double play. And you look at the game, and I'm thinking at that point, this game might have swung directly to what the Rays were doing. And the Rays and the Guardians they're almost a mirror of each other. Both teams struggled to get runs. Both teams have great bullpens, great starting pitchers. So when we lost that opportunity, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, oh, goodness, here we go again. They were not able to capitalize. What were your thoughts when the sixth inning jumped off?
Man, I thought only in Cleveland. You know what I mean?
Only in Cleveland.
Only in Cleveland, no matter who's playing, man. Only stuff like that happened to us in Cleveland. And, we're all in the same group chat, man. And Jason Lewis said it best, man. Ramirez is ahead in the count 2-0, and the first off-speed pitch for a pitcher who at that time did not have his command, he swings that changes that entire at-bat. Not only that, I think it was Jason Adams. You know what I mean? It builds his confidence, and 9 of his 12 pitches go for strikes, and the changeup he had, I mean, it was just working. To be in that situation with the bases loaded, no outs, and come away with no runs, I'm thinking to myself, when you blow an opportunity, when the pitching is that dominant, 10 times out of 10, at least for us in this city, you lose. And for them to just remain steadfast and just keep their focus, man, and just keep trucking ahead, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy day.
Hey, listen, man. Shout out to Charles Higgins. He says, congratulations, Guardians. By the way, New York sports broadcasters almost unanimously said they would prefer to play Cleveland versus Tampa Bay. Careful for what you wish for. Well, they gonna get that smoke now. We've talked to a lot of different people, and I'm gonna tell you what, the Guardians are scrappy, and the Guardians have what nobody wants to see. We've seen what it is when you got pitchers that can really blank you. Clause is a guy that's coming in throwing 98, 99 miles an hour. He got pitches that move. Hedges, we talked about this earlier, and I thought this was a great one as well. He said, and shout out to 216 Diehard, Hedges, a.k.a. the weapon. He showed me something because there was a couple of times where I thought they had caught up with his curveball. I thought they had found out what he was about. I would say, okay, look, he's throwing his off-speed pitch for first pitch strikes. Now, when he had them off guard like that, I thought, oh, we ready to go. Then they hit him up a few times. They had first and third, and I thought Hinges came in and he struck the next guy out. He could place his fastball. He's a big lefty. And by the way, when we were starting the first pitch out there for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, people say they don't know G. Bush is that big. Hinges is about 6'8", bro. He out there, he's that tall. People don't be knowing. He's kind of big out there moving around. So shout out to him. But now we look forward to what the Guardians are going to do against the Yankees. I'm excited about that. And somebody said today earlier when I was on the radio, we was on the radio earlier. Somebody said this is the first opportunity that they've got a chance to see the Guardians. Because of Bally's, right? Bally's Sports is not everywhere, right? There's a lot of people who now are having the first opportunity of watching the Guardians, and they're getting excited, and now they're going to be on the national scene with the Guardians and the Yankees. What's your thoughts on that series?
I'm excited about it. I felt like I tweeted this out a couple of days ago. I said, we can get to this series, past this series. I felt like we can be playing in the ALCS, of course, possibly the Houston Astros. I just feel like, man, the New York Yankees is a very home run dependent team, right? And everything starts and stops with Aaron Judge. And the way this pitching staff is, the way this bullpen has been dominant, we can get you to fly out. We can get you to hit them ground balls. And we can get you to strike out a lot. So if they're not hitting that long ball, that gives us the advantage, man, because we can play small ball. We know how to run the bases. We know how to put ourselves in a position to do the little things. And if the pitching continues to be this dominant, I don't see how that long ball is going to come. And Chris Rose was with us yesterday. And he talked about 71% of the runs scored in the MLB playoffs last year came by way of the long ball. Look what happened last night with the Mets and the San Diego Padres. San Diego scored all 7 of their runs via the home run. And here we are, have the type of pitching here in Cleveland that can kind of counter that. And I think that's the perfect, ammunition to have as we head up to New York Tuesday.
Hey, listen, Jonathan Radcliffe, pitchers dominated baseball all year, and you ain't lying. You look at the major league average, 243. 243. That average was the lowest since the 60s. Think about that. We've gone from the juice ball era to the steroid era to a point now where we go 15 innings. And at one point in time, there was only 6 hits in this game. And it looked as if you were going to need a home run, and they got that home run. Let's keep moving through some of these games because I think we need to really highlight some of the defensive plays that these guys made to get it to the 15th inning. We'll go to the top of the 10th, and it's extra innings. The Rays have runner in scoring position, and I thought this was a small but nice play. They had a hard hit ball, and Miles Straw in center field got a great jump on a baseball. He got a great jump on a baseball, caught the ball, and I'm thinking when it was hit off the bat, I'm like, oh, this is falling. This is trouble. He got a great jump, and one of the things that he may not be a great guy with the bat, but his glove and the way he's able to get jumps and the way he's able to move around the outfield has paid dividends in situations like this, Earl.
Yeah, man, definitely. The talk around Cleveland is Miles Straw is trash, and that's based, that's based off that batting average and what he did with the bat. But like you said, man, there's so many different components to this game and what he can do with the glove. Like, you can't coach speed, you can't teach speed. This dude got wheels, and so the defensive instincts, understanding where he is in center field. He's one of the best fielding center fielders in the American League, and he definitely put that on display today in the most critical times when it was necessary to have as well. So. That was key. That key defensive stop by him was one of many that we could put in the books and say, okay, this right here kept us in the game. This right here kept us with an opportunity to come away victorious.
Hey, 256 people right now live looking at Guardians content. They said in this city, you couldn't do Guardians content. You can't do it. Can't talk it, G. Bush. We've been doing it the whole day, 256, 265 now. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. See, here what we doing. See how we set this up? Now, everybody going to come lately, right? We've been doing the post-game shows. Watch how many post-game shows pop up, Earl.
Oh, for sure. Not only that, man. Not only that. When you go to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show page on YouTube, upper right here corner, man, there's a little gadget that says UCSS Gear. Click on that, man, to purchase your Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show t-shirt, man. You got 2 different options to choose from. Make sure you tap in, man. You get that merch. Trust me.
Let's check out the fans a little bit. Let's give the fans some love. Let's get back in this chat a little bit. Show some love to the people out there representing 271 in the chat right now. Sonia says, let's go. We ready to get, she had like 35 O's in that too. Hey, they get ready. Adam is like, we coming for that Yankee ass today. Hey, don't demonetize this, man. Y'all can't be putting that. I gotta read what's on the screen. I'm a host now. Like I'm like, who put that on the teleprompter? Don't demonetize us, man. Hey, let's go, man. Let's be, people is ready. Hey, people, hey, King Bees, they say, bring on the stanky Yankees, man. Man, definitely, man. Hey, people ready. 216 die hard. 11 more wins to go. People is really buying into it, man. People is really buying into it, man. My man Patel says, hey, G. Bush, that was a beautiful game for the Guardians. It was one of them games where if you're a purist, I was sitting there laughing with my dad. He said, see, they love this right here. The purists, they like to see extra inning games. This a Bob Gibson game. Like you just want, hey, you know what? Two runs, 1 run on like 4 or 5 hits. They love these type of games, man. Stephen Bennett said this team is dangerous. Let's get 2 more in here really quick before we get back to it. Ben Michelson says SpongeBob SquarePants. He got the best stadium music in the game. Oscar Gonzalez, he did it again. And let's get 1 more, man, before we get to some more of these, man. Let's go to Stephen Bennett also says Kevin Cash can't manage the games because he should have never took out the left-handed pitcher. That left-handed pitcher was giving us the business. I was so excited when I see him leave that game. Earl, they had a couple of times during that late inning games. Did you honestly think that the Guardians had a chance to lose, or was you feeling like it's a team of destiny at that point?
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think Kevin Cash made a mistake when he pulled Glasnow. Glasnow was dealing. We couldn't hit him. Like we couldn't. He had 2 hits through 5 innings. He only was at 63 pitches, and I get it. He had just had Tommy John surgery. I think he only made 2 starts. During the back half of this year. But your season is on the line.
Right.
You lose this game, it's over with. And he's showing you he was in control, G, from the first pitch of the first inning. He was doing his thing. So when he got pulled, I felt a little bit better about our chances to win. But I was a little nervous because our offense was showing they just couldn't get to him. Then I think the left-hander you talk about again was that Jason Adams guy. You bring him into the game after the Fairbanks debacle, and once he found this command, he's dealing, and then all of a sudden he gets pulled. So those 2 situations there, we got a veteran skipper, sitting in our dugout, and I'm pretty sure he was paying attention and giving his hitters some tips how to make some adjustments as the game was going on.
And so you look at it like this. Hinches was really up there dealing, and they actually came to the mound. They could have taken him out, but I thought it was the right move keeping him in. He ended up striking out the side, and we're ready to go. Top of 12, I think this is the play of the game. Besides the home run, what got you to the home run? Top of 12 innings, the Rays got runners at first and third. It's 2 outs. Jose Ramirez, he goes down the line, backhands it, throws off his back foot, and you get Naylor with the greatest scoop I'd have seen in weeks. I played first base. He had extension on his scoop. I said, he got him too. Dude was mad. I'm like, that is a heck of a play. And you think about it, it's not just that's why baseball is so nerve-wracking a little bit, right? It's exciting, it's nerve-wracking. You bite your fingernails, you nauseous, but you excited because it's just not up at the plate that matters. It's the defense. It's the small, little, minute things that you got to worry about. And if that ball, if you think about it, if he does not scoop that ball and he's safe, run scores, we're looking at a 1-0 game. And Jose Ramirez not only did it with his stick yesterday, but he does it with his glove today.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I think if I go back and I check the numbers, and if I'm correct, Jose was like, he was 0 for 6 from the plate. But like I said, man, he makes the crucial defensive plays in the most crucial times of the game, all of them seemingly in extra innings. You talk about the play in the 10th. You talk about the play in the 12th. Like, these is huge plays to where Tampa Bay could have put some runs on the board, and based on how things was going on the other side, it would have been hard as hell for us to kind of like even try to like manufacture a base hit, let alone a run. So seeing how those defensive plays like came into play, it just goes to show his greatness and his importance to this team. Yesterday he do it with the bat. Today he do it with the glove, and he put his team in position to have success, man. And then, with Oscar Gonzalez batting behind him, I can only imagine how much he's learned over those games that he finds himself in that 4-hole behind Jose Ramirez. And it's funny because I seen this in the comments, and I was thinking this during the game. Corey Kluber was a great pitcher when he pitched for, at that time, the Cleveland Indians. We seen him win 2 Cy Youngs. But it was always like, once we got to the playoffs, Corey Kluber was different. And even in the games that he didn't pitch bad, I can remember one year he would give up a home run early, and we would lose that game like 2-1. Corey Kluber showed up the way typically he does in the playoffs, only to this time it was finally for the benefit of Cleveland.
I mean, you look at Corey Kluber in the inning before, he was dealing. He was spotting and locating. It was vintage Corey Kluber. I mean, he still had movement on his pitches, and that's at that point in time I said, look, we got to get the home run. We got to look for the home run and what we're looking for, and we eventually got that. I thought right before that, top of the 14th, Guardians get out of the inning. I thought this was a huge play as well. The unconventional double play that they got to get out of that inning in the top of 14th to get to the bottom of the 15th to actually win the game. They threw the first and they threw the second and got the second base runner second, but they got it at first. So they threw it to first, got the double play. He was able to throw the second, able to tag them out. They get 2 right there. I thought the unconventional double play was huge for them. Another defensive play that they needed to make. And you look at the Guardians all year. They've done it unconventionally. Teams don't usually run and play the bases like they do. They did that. The Guardians are a great defensive team. They've been able to keep scores low. They were able to do that with some of the defensive plays late, Earl.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, man, like that untimely double play, which was a combination of great defense and horrible base running. Like horrible base running. I was listening to the announcer. I can't remember who it was, but he definitely stopped and just waited. And when he paused, he found himself thrown out and cost his team a situation. Like I said, man, they found a way to come through and make the necessary adjustments at the necessary time. This game was defense on both sides. I looked out there and I seen more shifts in this game than I think I've seen all season from the games that I watched. You know what I mean? So like just seeing us put ourselves in the right position defensively, the instincts to stay in there and to actually just be able to stay focused and persevere, man. 15 innings is a long game. They've probably been at the ballpark since 10:30, 11. First pitch was at 12:08. You know what I mean? And so like just to stay locked in and to just get this team taken care of, like you really can't ask for much more.
And the fans was locked in too. Like I was just sitting there thinking, when we left the radio, we was on the way back to start watching the game because we knew we had the post game. And I'm sitting there thinking, man, the crowd it's one of the biggest crowds they had this year. And I'll give the crowd credit, man. Y'all got to go home and get some Gatorade, get some food in y'all, because y'all really brought it. Y'all brought it for 15 innings, every single pitch, every single third strike. You guys were standing up cheering. So the fans get one on that. I want to go shout out and get some of the comments from the fans. Oren Smith says, I said it in February, go Guardians, and people talk down on me in Cleveland. I feel vindicated. And that's one of the things that you can feel like. And we talked about this earlier. A lot of people, and I wish football players and basketball players had the same mindset as the baseball players, right? How would you feel like you've been on you're a Guardians team, right? You've been in first place the majority of the season. When you didn't make no moves at the All-Star break, people then was mad. When there was 4,000, 5,000 people in the stands, they wasn't mad. When people say, why don't y'all come to the game? We got people saying, you should be coming to the game. Where y'all at? And they still didn't come. But guess what, man? When you win, when you champions, when you doing that, when you winning games and in the playoffs, people will show and prove for that. So all these dudes that's playing football talk about, I don't like nobody booing me. I don't want nobody, they should be nice to me. No, bro, take it from the Guardians. They the third team in the city. But guess what? When you win games, people show you that love, and they earned it the fair and square way this year.
I mean, I'll say this: they might be the third team in the city as far as the attention, but they've proved to us, and I have to even hold that L in a bit, that they've proved to us that they're definitely the most consistent team in this city, man. What Chris Antonetti has done, the resources with the resources given to him, man, it's crazy, it's unbelievable. You look at this current Guardians team, and I have so many guys that I'm around that's baseball experts, and they've all told me the same thing. They say, Earl of Pearl, man, this team is a year ahead. This team is peaking a year ahead of schedule. So anything that they do on the positive side at this particular time, it's a bonus. Then you couple that with the fact that we got 6 or 7 prospects that's top 100 of all of baseball that we haven't even seen yet. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So you look at what they're doing with the lack of attention. The complaining about lack of attendance comes from us in the media. We're the one that's hollering that noise, but they seem to be able to block out the noise, not worry about the fan support, not worrying about what's being said, good or bad. Stay focused, stay grinding, stay winning. And like I said, man, hats off to Tito. Attitude reflect leadership, and they definitely take on the leadership of Tito. And we got the best damn skipper in baseball
right now. Listen, if you're looking at it like this, man, the Indians have a great manager. They're gonna run the base pass. They can steal bases, and besides today, going into the season during the regular season, they have the best strikeout rate, right? So they don't strike out. They actually put the ball in play. They have the best swing and miss rate. So generally speaking, today, that just goes to show you how great the pitching was today. And you're going to have some games like that. You're going to have some games where you can't hit somebody. It's 42 degrees. It's cold outside. But here's the great thing about the home run. As a big dude and as a person that played the game, I said, hey, the chicks dig the long ball. Sometimes you got to go for the long ball, and we happen to get it. Speaking of 320 people, 25 minutes into the broadcast, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and continue to support the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Every time we come on, we got some some kicks, some onside kicks, some crazy stuff with the Browns. Now we doing the same thing with the Guardians, man. So let's talk about it. Let's get into the play of the game. Play of the game here. Obviously, Oscar Gonzalez solo home run against Corey Kluber. Everybody in the chat is saying they knew it as soon as he hit the bat. I knew it. I turned around. It's something about when you hear a home run, you just know it. You ain't got to see it. So when he hit that, what was the feeling when you said, "Oh man, they done did it the way we thought they would"?
Man, the first thing I did was, first thing I did was when I threw my hands like it's over. Like, you just can hear it come off the bat. You can see the full extension of the arms, the slow walk off from him. People could go back, man. Earl Pearl 216, check my tweets, man. I've been saying it. Oscar has definitely became my personal favorite Cleveland Guardian, man. I grew up a huge Manny Ramirez fan, right? And this is the first time since Manny that I'm seeing a young right-handed power hitter that's going to be here for a while, man. That just got that. He got that superstar potential. He got that it factor. He reminds me of Manny Ramirez so much in a lot of different ways. And the fact that he's so young and he's so raw, he's still figuring out how to be a pro. Like, shout out to that dude, man. And that kid is huge. Like, he's huge in stature and he's having fun along the way doing it. No doubter, man. No doubter.
It's now we're looking at it, man. So we're the first team to punch the wild card series. So we look to fight and we got the Yankees coming up. So the game, let's see when the first game is.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Not only are we the first team to, move on to the next round, but they talked about it during the broadcast. Man, we're the first team in a very long time to not hit at least 150 home runs and win a playoff series. You know what I mean?
Because this game, it's different, right?
This game today, man, both teams combined for 39 strikeouts. Man, the Guardians had 20 of those things. So it was just crazy. But game one is Tuesday in New York.
Tuesday. And I would expect Shane Bieber to be on the mound if it's Tuesday. And the great thing about it is you get this out of the way. And that's very impressive to me for a young team. Because you're the youngest team in the league. And we can't skip over that because they got a lot of flack for playing some of the young kids. And I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them. Like sometimes you got to be real about it. That's one thing I am. I'm real about it. I needed to see it. And sometimes when you see it and you got a bunch of young kids out there, you're expecting the young kids to kind of falter down the backstretch. They didn't. At certain points in time, they were close to the Twins. They was close to the White Sox, and then they ended up winning the division by 11 games, right? So now they go into a series like this. You win the one game, you win the first game, and you're at home for 3 in the wild card series, and you get to a game where it's 15 innings. You know how easy it would have been to say, you know what, we ain't even tripping on this. We'll get the one tomorrow. A lot of young teams would not do that. Young teams don't got that mentality, but that just goes to show you that the coach got them in the right mindset going forward.
Man, I spoke to this a little bit yesterday. I think the Guardians' average age is 26.6 years old, right? By far the youngest team in baseball. And I know enough about the game of baseball to know that when you're that young at the major league level, you typically don't experience this type of success, right? You typically don't win the AL Central. You typically don't win a playoff series if you even find yourself in the playoffs. And to me, it's one of those things, man, being younger than what I was. Now, I remember, sometimes great things will happen just by moving in ignorance, right?
Right.
What you don't know is what you don't know. And sometimes what you don't know works to your advantage, man. If somebody was to put every stat and every graphic in front of this team and told them why they should not be in this situation or this position that they're in, psychologically, that possibly could have got to their head, right? But they don't know what they don't know. And with them not knowing what they don't know, they just continue to play raw. They continue to black out the noise, man, and just go out here and play hard and have fun doing it along the way. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
Let's get back in, and we want to show this a little bit. Jeffrey, shout out to Jeffrey. He's a huge baseball fan. Always watches Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. The Guardians of the Miracle 69 Mets. I feel proud of the Guardians because I grew up in Ohio Northeast and saw a lot of long seasons. And I think that a lot of people are on that same. B Skrill says, "Let's go Guardians." And it's so crazy. It feels good for a lot of people in the city that feel like the Guardians have not got their just desserts. For those people who do have season tickets, for those people that do consistently go to 20 games a year, this is a day that they could be proud about it because they're like, yo, we talk about the Browns 365 days a year, right? And you look at the Cavs, and the Cavs have made some moves as well. But see, today it just goes to prove you. Baseball, you could talk baseball if you're gonna be good.
I'm laughing on the inside because as one of the producers, man, we do a call, and when we set up the show, we're independently talking about Bull is raging for us to talk a half hour full of baseball.
Yep.
The 10-15 minutes it just don't suffice, especially with a couple of the guys that we know some diehard baseball fans in this that we personally work with. And,
right.
For guys like that, they're vindicated. They sitting up there like, I told you so. Show this team some attention, show this team some love. We talk football 24/7, man. We give so much energy to the drama, so much energy to the adversity, so much energy to everything negative that goes on with the Browns when you got a baseball club that's been playing lights out, man, especially since the All-Star break, and deserves a little bit more love from people like me, if I'm being totally honest with you. So, look, I'm all eyes, I'm all ears, man. I'm listening, I'm watching, man. And, I think for a lot of people, I'm 34, G. And for a lot of people around my age, this is what it is, right? The Browns, before most of us, when we could really start remembering the sports that we watch, right? The Browns were already gone. The cast wasn't that good. But at the time, and the Cleveland Indians was one of the best teams in baseball. We still hold the sellout record in the entire major leagues. And I remember as a kid being able to stay up late in 95 and stay up late in 97 to watch the World Series, and then go to bed crying and go to school crying at O.H. Perry Elementary School the next day because they've broken my heart. Or, blowing a 3-0 lead against the Red Sox. And
right.
Of course, the blowing a Game 7 in the World Series against the Cubs. So it's not that people don't love the Cleveland Guardians. It's not that people don't rock with the Cleveland Guardians. Like I know, man, in Cleveland, man, the diehards are the diehards for all the teams. It's just that, man, you don't want to get gassed up to being taken nowhere.
Yeah.
And for a lot of us, man, that's mid-30s, early 40s, the Guardians has gassed us up so many times and literally didn't even get in the car.
It was back then, like, you got to think about it, and we always talk about it. Like them teams, like, we do the show to Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. To me, it'd be crazy. Like, we talking to, Carlos Baerga. I'm like, man, y'all don't even know. I said, man, everybody was like, man, at that point in time, we couldn't have cared less about no Browns. The Browns were gone, and the Indians kept dudes. When I was in high school, we didn't even have football. The Browns were gone my whole high school career. So I watched, a lot of college football, and for a lot of people, it was the Indians. And it's so great to see the Guardians come full circle and to be able to go into it. Because to be honest with you, nobody had expectations for this team. I did say they would win 92 games. I did say that at the early part of the season, but they thought I was crazy. It was like, you just guessed, or was you taking your neck pills, D. Bush? You know what it is. But I will.
My man David Rucker, I'm right with you. When I cried so bad in 97 too, I was walking to the bus stop the next day, man, going to O.H. Ferry. My mother told me I need to stop crying over teams I ain't even making no money off of. So.
That's what they always tell you that. I will say this in moving, and I want to give them credit in one extra, give them their flowers in one way. How refreshing was it? And I'll ask the chat. Most of us are Browns fans, right? Most of us are Browns fans that are in the Guardians chat. how refreshing was it to see a team execute down the stretch and not have no errors, not have no mental mistakes, not have no booted balls, not have no, like, guys really perform down the stretch. And you saw how it is for people to be together. Put a 1 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying, because if you like me, I was sitting here watching this, and how many times I don't watch the Cleveland Browns, and you'd be like, what's going to happen? Something going to happen. Who gonna drop the ball? Who going to throw the ball behind the pitcher's neck? Like, I'm seeing these guys throw the ball to first base on keeping guys close. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, what if this ball go in right field? Man, if a runner's at first base and it's first third, if they run to second base, what they gonna do? Is they gonna let them take it? All these things is going through my mind. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm a little gun shy when it comes to Cleveland sports, but it just goes to show you, when either they too dumb and too young to not understand that they should be thinking about that, or this team is locked in.
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think it goes, I think, like I said, like, gee, man, we both agree that, you know, sometimes two things can be right at the same time, right? And this is a situation to where they're locked in because of Terry Francona. They're taking on the attitude of their skipper, right? And then they're just too young, too ignorant to know how things, quote unquote, should go. They didn't just go out there and playing. They don't know that these type of things should not be happening, you know, especially when you're going up against a ball club in Tampa Bay who's been to the playoffs quite consistently. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's one of those things to where, you know, you was going up against some scrubs, man. Like, that it's amazing. It's amazing what Tito has done with this youth. And the thing is, man, they only gonna get wiser and better than what they are right now.
We're going to wrap this thing up. We've been here 36 minutes, 317 people in the chat. We want to thank every single one of you 317 for supporting the Guardian, supporting the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show post-game show. We appreciate you greatly. Go ahead, Earl.
One more thing, man. Do not forget to catch the fellas at the 2-minute warning tomorrow at the Browns and the Chargers game, and for the USCS, the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show post-game show, man. It's going to be lit. It's going to be jumping, man. Mike McNugget's going to be here doing this thing. G. Bush going to be here. I heard you all got a special guest. I'm going to keep my mouth closed.
We might got a special guest. He might pull up. We'll figure. You know, we always got somebody coming up, man. So what we wanted to do, man, listen, it's exciting. We're here to celebrate the people, man. So, you know, what's one word to describe this series in the ALDS, the wild card series? You got a home. You got the home. You got people moving around. You got the win at home. People got to see you on national TV. We'll start with you. What's one word that describes it for you, Earl, in terms of the way you saw this game?
Man, if I could just one word to describe everything for me, man, it would be redemption. You know what I mean? A lot of people turned their team on it, turned their back on this team because they changed their name. A lot of people kind of gave up because a couple times that we have made the playoff, we have not won a playoff series. And, you know, they got it off their back, man. They got it off their back. They redeemed themselves.
Before I throw mine out there, I'm going to ask the chat. Before we leave, we're going to ask one word. Which one word that describes the ALDS for you, and one word that can describe the Guardians, the feeling you have right now for the Guardians, or the feeling going into the Yankee series. I'm going to say excited. It seemed like, and you like, G. Bush, I was expecting a way bigger word than that. Excited, but I'm going to give you excited. And the reason I'm saying excited is because for the first time, I think the city is really going to really take hold and take a look at this team. There's a lot of people that called me today on the radio show that said, look, G. Bush, this is the first time a lot of people is actually getting to see this team. I love the way they playing. I love their energy. I love their level of competence as being a young team. And for me, I'm really excited. You know, I watch every single pitch of this game. Earl watch every single pitch of this game. And it's like you become invested. You become more invested. Hopefully we can say this rub off on the Browns. Now, Browns, if you're watching, feel free Feel free to be competent like these guys. So I'm going to say excited. So chat, I'm going to throw it out to you. We're going to end that way. What is one word that you feel moving forward for the Cleveland Guardians? And we'll put that in the chat. We'll go ahead and put it out there and we'll start going over theirs, man. They're already in there, man. These guys is already, you guys in the chat is awesome.
This the UCSS chat. You ain't know?
The chat. Y'all ready to go, man. Let's go. Where we at? Here we go. First one. M. Tomzik 4 says electric. I like electric, man. Let's get to another one. Oren Smith says vindicated. What we got here? Otha Waller says unbelievable. I like unbelievable. I like that as well too. This is a good one too. Brian Ryder says refreshing. I think they are really refreshing to watch a team play the way they played today. I like that one too. Redemption is in the building. Justin Vision 3 says redemption. I love that one. Let's keep it going. Alan Barnes. I like this one. Hope. I like hope. JC says optimism. Like the optimism, man. Mike Dibble says hopeful. Man, this is nice. I like this one too. Peeped out the WPOP peeped out production says Genesis. I like the beginning. I like that, man. Stephen Bennett says best. Let's see. Let's get a couple more in here. Let's see if we can get a couple. I like that, man. I like what you did. Lou Boudreaux says fun with an exclamation point. I like that, man. Let's see. A couple other people. Walden Josh says yes, hopeful. Love that. Let's get two more. Bass Player 1966 says magnificent. And I like this one. We'll end on this one. On Cue says poise, man. We want to thank every one of you. Continue to consume our content. 324 people are in here talking about the Guardians. That's a blessing. 41 minutes, we did our thing. We want to thank all of you for watching the Guardians. We look forward to doing this again. This ain't just the first time. ALDS, we will be back. The Guardians post-game show, win, lose, or draw. I'll be here. I don't know if Earl going to be here. They might replace me. I don't know. I might be gone. Bull will be back. I might be up out of here. But I'm glad I was able to do it with you this week. And I definitely appreciate you guys joining the chat. As always, keep it locked to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Hit that notification bell because we give you all of the content, and it's all about getting your instant reaction here. It's the only place in the city you're going to get that. We're going to keep doing it and keep showing up to everybody. No, it's the place to be. Earl, we got any final comments you want to say before we get out of here?
Yeah, man, make sure you following us on Twitter, man. Like G said, make sure you subscribe, man. When you tweet at us, man, start that hashtag UCSS, man.
Love it.
Let's get that trending, man. Let's get that going, man. We appreciate all the love, all the support. Go out there and get them t-shirts, man. The fellas will see you all Sunday with the post-game show. We'll be bringing y'all another hot show Monday morning.
Cleveland Guardians win the AL wild card round in walk-off style in 15 innings. They move on to the ALDS against the New York Yankees on Tuesday. We will be back to talk all about it all week on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. You guys have a great weekend.